Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Goldie Newman versus Dr. Robert Abner, you are suing him for $413.88, which is the cost of a veterinary bill for your pet. And you say it was because of his employee's negligence that your pet was injured. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
I brought my dog Stella in to be spayed, as I have gone to Dr. Abner in the past. And after she was spayed, his vet tech put a cone around her neck, and it became too tight, causing her to get a bad infection, which led me to have to go to the emergency vet, which is where the bill came from.
Okay, so now tell me what happened when you said the cone was around her neck too tight.
I brought her home and she started itching and rubbing her neck on the wall and furniture. And Dr. Abner told me that this might be normal because she had never had a cone on before. I was also told to leave it on for 14 days.
Engaging in analytical tone. Here's the part where the case begins to divide. Dr. Abner suggests that Goldie should have noticed the tightness earlier. But wait, how is it her fault that the dog didn't exhibit any signs of discomfort until it was too late? As an owner, you trust a vet to give you clear instructions. It's not easy to tell whether a cone is too tight unless the dog shows obvious signs of distress. Shouldn't the vet have checked that beforehand? Goldie did everything she could to monitor the cone, but could she have done more?
But around day 5, I noticed blood on her neck, and so I checked and it was on too tight. I remember with my other dog that there's supposed to be 2 fingers that fit under the cone, and I couldn't even fit one, so I took it off because she was very clearly in pain.
And when you took the cone off, what happened?
She was still bleeding, and that's when I called Dr. Abner.
And what did Dr. Abner do or say?
I asked if I could bring her in that night, but he said that there wasn't room because they close in 30 minutes, but I could have an appointment in the morning. So I opted to book the appointment for the morning, but she only got worse throughout the night. So then I took her to the emergency vet before the morning appointment.
When you spoke to the doctor, did he suggest that you take her to an emergency vet?
He said that I could go in for his appointment, or he had a colleague that he knew at an emergency vet clinic.
Did you call him back?
No, their office was closed.
You don't have an answering service, doctor?
I do, Your Honor. We have people monitoring the calls after hours. There's also a link to an after hours emergency vet, the one that I suggested.
Okay. Did Dr. Abner tell you to either go to the doctor that he was referring or wait until the next morning?
He said I could choose.
How did you find the emergency facility where you took the dog to?
I looked up online the closest one that wasn't going to have a wait time.
What was the reason you didn't call him back or call the veterinarian that he had referred?
Because when I called earlier with the issue, they told me it was my fault for taking off the cone.
So you were upset that it was that tight?
Thought-provoking tone. Here's where things get tricky. Goldie's decision to go to the emergency vet instead of waiting until morning is something many of us might do in a panic. But Dr. Abner's office is suggesting negligence on her part. Is it really negligence if your pet's pain is obvious and you're trying to find a solution as fast as possible? Dr. Abner had the chance to step in sooner. Did his failure to act quickly contribute to the situation? Let's keep that in mind as we move forward.
And you believed it was too tight, so you no longer had faith in Dr. Abner and his office?
I was getting weary, yes.
Okay. So, and this veterinary office that you went to was closer to your home?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
can't understand shaking your head.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You received the bill, Dr. Abner?
Yeah, so the next day, Ms. Newman missed her appointment that she made
Right.
the next day at 7:30, didn't arrive. She called and said that another veterinarian who I'm not familiar with diagnosed Stella with an injury based on the tight cone and has a skin infection.
But you never took the dog back to Dr. Abner to observe?
I did not know.
So now what happens?
I took her in and they gave her antibiotics and they cleaned and dressed the wounds.
Who is the second doctor?
Yes.
So you just started dealing with him 5 days later?
Yes.
I mean, he was told you to bring the dog back and you took the dog back and they cleaned and dressed the wound, but they didn't put a cone back on.
No, not at the emergency vet.
So, did the dog really need a cone for 14 days then?
Well, Judge, based on the pictures that Ms. Newman has, it was a serious injury, and so that area does need time to heal and breathe. In that situation with dogs, we just tell the owners to do close monitoring. And I appreciate Ms. Newman is concerned about her dog, but I wish I could have had time to examine the dog myself.
Is it your contention because she took her to veterinary number 3, which was her choice, as opposed to veterinary number 2, which was your choice, that you shouldn't pay her?
I'm concerned about that because I don't agree, or I may not agree with the diagnosis or the treatment plan. I'm not even sure which antibiotic was prescribed.
I mean, you still could have taken him to Dr. Abner the next morning so he could see what had happened, since this is your vet that you trust.
Critical tone. Dr. Abner is now claiming that the injury might have been a result of something the dog did. But look at the pictures. The injury is right where the cone was. There's no denying the reasonable assumption here. The cone was too tight. Dr. Abner's refusal to admit the likelihood of this mistake makes us question whether this vet is truly taking responsibility for the damage caused by his carelessness.
Yes,
Have you ever shown him a copy of that?
it was sent over to him when I wanted to be reimbursed.
Oh, but that the next morning you didn't talk to him about it, or didn't go into his office, or didn't email it to him or anything kind?
No, it was a phone call, and then it was sent over via email later on in the day.
Okay, so you did. She did send it to you later in the day.
Yes, she did, but I really had to put eyes on the dog, Your Honor.
Oh, you wanted to see the dog?
Oh, absolutely. I
Okay,
wanted
so
to see
when you
the
got
dog.
the bill
Yeah.
later in the day, and you saw what she had done,
Yes.
did you call her and say, bring the dog in?
Well, she refused to come. She doesn't want to work with me at this point.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
So it's your fault that you didn't know that your dog's cone was too tight, it was having problems with it. You should have figured it out sooner. Dr. Abner, you didn't say that. Do you listen to yourself?
And later,
While I was moving through the highway, the defendant asked me to stop, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. And that's when she regurgitated in the back of my car.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Goldie Newman, who is suing Dr. Robert Abner for veterinary bills.
So your position is, I don't know, my attendant caused the problem with your dog by putting on the cone too tight.
Engaging in empathetic tone. Now, Goldie faces a dilemma. She refuses to go back to Dr. Abner for further treatment, fearing more problems with his care. Can you blame her? She's already feeling betrayed by his office. Sometimes, trusting your instincts as a pet owner becomes more important than following protocol. And let's not forget the emotional toll this case has taken on her. It's not just about the money, it's about trust. Will she ever feel confident in Dr. Abner's care again?
The dog could have tightened it accidentally herself. My concern is that she didn't look at it, or she seems to not have looked at it for 5 days. If she had perhaps checked on day 1 or day 2, noticed it was tight, she could have called me.
She said she didn't notice anything. The dog didn't give her any indication or any issue that there was any issue with it until 5 days later. So why is she supposed to notice it, whether it's too tight or not too tight? She checked it daily, it's 5 days. She didn't leave it on 14 days. She checked it daily. The 5th day, she noticed an infection.
Yes, Judge, but from those pictures, I would be surprised
Let me
that
see.
happened overnight, the 4th day to the 5th,
Why would you be surprised?
at the extremity of the injury.
So what would be your explanation for such injury?
Well, I believe it was not noticed, or it was some form of negligence that it wasn't noticed earlier, and it got to
Negligence
that
on
point.
whose part that it wasn't noticed earlier? She's
Miss
not a
Newman.
doctor. How's it negligence on her part that she didn't notice it earlier?
Because she's supposed to be able to put 2 fingers between the dog's neck and the cone, and clearly, with that injury, it was too tight, or the dog had been rubbing it too much.
So it's your fault that you didn't know that your dog's cone was too tight, it was having problems with it. You should have figured it out sooner. Dr. Abner, you didn't say that. Do you listen to yourself? This is are you trained in any type of medical?
No, Your Honor.
How how is she supposed to know that there's a problem if the dog doesn't exhibit any signs of a problem until the 5th day?
I agree with you, Judge, but I gave her options to be seen by myself the next day or
She has
by
a
my
right-
colleague
she has a right.
to be treated.
She has a right to go to the doctor. Would you have treated her without charging her? Is that what you're saying?
It's a possibility if I felt like I could put the pieces together and figure out what happened.
Well, I think that the pieces got put together. Something happened. There was an infection. The doctor's report said it was caused from it being. Do you have a medical report and diagnosis? What did the medical report and diagnosis say?
The emergency vet said that it was caused by the cone being too tight.
Strong, summarizing tone. And now, Judge Mablean delivers her judgment. Dr. Abner is ordered to reimburse Goldie for half the veterinary bill. A fair compromise, considering the lack of clear documentation and the missed opportunity for Dr. Abner to examine the dog sooner. This case isn't just about money. It's a cautionary tale about trust, communication, and responsibility. But what do you think? Was the judgment fair? Or should Dr. Abner have been held fully accountable?
Where's the report and diagnosis from the emergency vet?
I only have the bill with all the antibiotics listed.
For every treatment in any emergency, there is a diagnosis and a statement of what happened and why the doctor saw the patient, be it a dog or an animal or a human. Yeah, it says emergency examination. It says amoxicillin, all the antibiotics, cleaning and dressing, but there is no diagnosis as to what is going on. It says emergency exam. It doesn't say emergency exam of the neck. It doesn't say emergency exam of a dog, the type of dog. This just says emergency exam. Could have been of anything, anybody.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You have insurance?
For pets, no, Your Honor.
A pet lover like you doesn't have insurance?
No, Your Honor.
You got a lot of money or something?
No, Your Honor.
Oh. I suggest you get some medical insurance, some pet insurance. You said you saw pictures or something of the infection.
Yes,
These pictures?
yes.
So she'll give this back to Dr. Abner and see if he would agree that perhaps is it unreasonable to assume that it was the cone being on the dog's neck too tight to cause that type of injury. And so where is that injury, on the dog's neck?
It's on the neck. It's around the neck. It is an injury. I admit that. The cause of it, the tightness, how it came to be.
Come on, Doc.
I
Come
don't
on,
know.
come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. The only place the dog got a cone from and got tightness around his neck was in your office with the cone. And the reasonable likelihood is that, and the injury is on the neck, it's not on any other part of the dog's body. There's a reasonable likelihood that that is what caused it. She has the right to go to whatever hospital she wants to go to, but because of the fact that the diagnosis does not precisely say that it was the dog Stella, that the injury was around the neck, and the diagnosis was the collar was too tight, or anything else to let us know that it was his fault. But there is a reasonable assumption based upon all of the circumstances. So I'm going to order you to reimburse her for half the cost of that veterinary bill. But you did not give him a chance to correct his mistake if it was the mistake of his office, because you did not go back into his office the next day at least to let him see.
Professional tone with CTA. Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff, ordering Dr. Abner to pay $27 as a partial reimbursement. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of clear communication between veterinarians and pet owners, and the responsibility we all share in caring for our animals. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts and comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. See you next time on Justice with Judge Mablean.
Even though you had gone to a vet the night before, I could see why you wouldn't wait until the next day, but you should have at least gone back to let him see what was going on. So I'm going to order the defendant to pay the plaintiff half the cost $207. That's the judgment.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $207.
I apologize for any grief that you have experienced.
People take their animals to you to be safe, and you neglected to do that.
Coming up,
I got a message from her and she invited me to a party, which I was very ecstatic for. Normally I wouldn't engage in that sort of crowd, but seeing that it was her, I was under the impression that we were trying to spend some time together.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
This is the matter of Robert Robles versus Madison Grant, and you're suing her for damage to your property, your car, the interior. Said she regurgitated all over your car, and you had to pay $500 to get it detailed. Is that right?
That's correct.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we have known each other for about 3 months now. We met on a dating site, and we started talking. And throughout our conversations, we got to know each other, become very well acquainted. We've gone on a few dates. And at first, things were moving slowly, Your Honor. And eventually, I started to notice some irregularities with the defendant's behavior.
Like?
Well, she was a party girl, for lack of a better term. I'm not really one to engage in those type of activities, but I am an individual who.
You don't go to parties?
Not really, no, Your Honor. The last day we were on, she ended things very abruptly. I took her home, and afterwards I looked into my social media within a couple hours and I noticed that she was active despite her claiming to be under the weather. Eventually time passed. I got a message from her out of the blue and she invited me to a party, which I was very ecstatic for. Normally I wouldn't engage in that sort of crowd, but seeing that it was her, I was under the impression that we were at least trying to spend some time together.
But she was inviting you to a party, and you don't go to parties.
What if she was there, Your Honor?
Oh, you go with her.
Yeah, exactly. Your
Got
Honor.
you.
Yeah.
You break your rules just to go with her.
Yes.
All right.
I broke my one rule.
Go on.
I picked her up in her residence, and I was waiting outside. Unbeknownst to me at the time that she was accompanied with another individual, a friend of hers, so I was taking both of them. I went ahead and I introduced myself to her friend. I gave the defendant a hug, and we were on our way.
Coming up,
That's when she regurgitated in the back of my car. I tried to clean it off, but unfortunately the smell was just so putrid. It really reeked as the smell of death.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Robert Robles, who is suing Madison Grant for property damage.
Go on.
The only problem, though, is that they were clearly intoxicated. They brought in some open cans and started drinking it within my car. I respectfully asked them to not do that, since I do not drink. When I would try to engage in conversation with them, they would dismiss me as well and acted as I was invisible and just some type of chauffeur. I went ahead and just decided to just drop them off to wherever they're going and just continued on my way. While I was moving through the highway, the defendant asked me to stop, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, since I was already in the highway and it would be very dangerous for me to stop abruptly. And that's when she regurgitated in the back of my car. Eventually we found another place to stop out. I tried to clean it off, but unfortunately the smell was just so putrid, strong. It really reeked as the smell of death, Your Honor, and I was completely disgusted at that point. I ended up dropping her off where they were going to go at the party. I did not attend since I was just not feeling up for it at that point, Your Honor. That's why I'm here, to get restitution for the damages to my car.
All right, so that's the bill you gave me for $500 for detailing the car on the inside.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so at around 3 o'clock, she asked you to come get her.
Yes.
You said and told you it was like 40 minutes away, and you agreed and said, sounds good, I can drive us if that works for you. But then at 8:17, she texted you and said, change the plans, come get me now. And you went now.
Yes.
Oh, you really were excited.
Absolutely.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
All right, let me hear from you, Ms. Grant.
So, as he said, I did vomit in his car, but the only reason that I threw up was because he was driving extremely erratically.
Now, you threw up in the man's car, right? And you don't think you need to pay to have it cleaned up?
Well, I wouldn't have thrown up. I wasn't drunk. I wouldn't have thrown up if he wasn't driving so erratically. And I had.
Who said so? You were drinking. You had been drinking. You don't know if you would have thrown up if he wasn't driving erratically. And he may not have been driving erratically. That may have been your wooziness that made it feel like he was driving erratically because your head was spinning from the alcohol. Girl, you know you threw up in that man's car because you was drunk and paying for having it cleaned up. You trying to put it all on him. That's just so rude. First of all, you used the man. Clearly, to get you a ride to the party, you and your girlfriend. He likes me. I know he likes me. If I can call him, he'll probably be excited about picking me up, just like he said he was excited about picking you up. Come on, you knew what was going on, so let me get us a ride so we won't have to pay a driver, because he'll be happy to take us. Then he's driving erratically, so now you're feeling unsafe because he's an unsafe driver. You want to put all the blame on him. A bunch of cockamamie bull. You threw up in the man's car. You had been drinking. You and your friend were having fun. You used him because you knew he'd be excited to take you out, just like he said he was. Pay the man for having to clean up his car, detail it because of your conduct. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defense.
Professional tone with CTA. Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff, ordering Dr. Abner to pay $27 as a partial reimbursement. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of clear communication between veterinarians and pet owners and the responsibility we all share in caring for our animals. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts and comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. See you next time on Justice with Judge Mablean.